Invincible, fast-paced, never procrastinating, decisive in killing, highly explosive and satisfying. 5 years ago, the Jiang family in Donghai was slaughtered overnight by a mysterious person, and their members died tragically. Jiang Fan was pushed into the abyss, but was unexpectedly saved by 9 Heavenly Maidens, who infused the blood of a true dragon and learned the supreme martial arts. 5 years later, Jiang Fan returned, and the gods blocked and killed the gods. The Buddha blocked and killed the Buddha, vowing to wash away the hatred and blood of the past and investigate the truth. Are you a family powerhouse? Kill. Are you a battlefield general? Kill. Are you the king of the East China Sea? Kill. Are you the Lord of Terror? Kill. Are you the invincible god of war? Kill. Are you the Dragon King Overlord? Kill. Are you the ultimate Persian? Kill. Chapter 1. Rebels leaving the abyss and strong men returning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Fan, you have obtained our 9 Heavenly Maidens true transmission, and your martial arts have even surpassed us. Let's go. Stinky kid, your talent is amazing, unparalleled in the world. There's nothing good to learn here. Go back, don't you still want revenge? When it comes to revenge, Jiang Fan's eyes immediately turn cold. He was originally the legitimate eldest son of the Jiang family, the 3 major families in the East China Sea. One late night, a group of mysterious people suddenly attacked and slaughtered hundreds of people from all over the Jiang family. Jiang Fan witnessed the tragic death of his parents and younger brother with his own eyes. Under the protection of a loyal servant, he escaped to a cliff, and the pursuers sneered and pushed him down. At that moment, he grabbed the other person and took off the mask, and it turned out to be his father's sworn brother Zhang Yuanshan. I thought I would fall into the abyss and die without a doubt. As a result, when Jiang Fan woke up, he saw 9 beautiful and unreal women surrounding him, healing his wounds. Due to the severe injuries, the 9 Heavenly Maidens could only use their true dragon bloodline to save Jiang Fan. Stinky kid, this is the divine strategy of the Heavenly Doctor. With your abilities, you can learn it by reading it once. There will be no disease in this world that you cannot cure in the future. This is the divine decree of the 4 Heavenly Kings. If you encounter any trouble in the future, you can seek help from the 4 Heavenly Kings. The Master's subordinates also have the 4 Great Witch Heavenly Troop, who are rare beauties in 1,000 years and have extremely high talents. You can also go find them. This is the alchemy method, which records the refining of various elixirs, including beauty and skin care, prolonging life, assisting in practicing martial arts, and so on. Fanner, after you leave, Master 7 will miss you. If you don't have any money, take this card and you can withdraw money from major banks around the world. Don't worry about the limit. Jiang Fan nodded, 7th Master loves him the most. Kid, remember, there are 12 angels under the Western Vatican seat. All you need to do is call this number to dispatch the 12 angels. Master Jiu blinked her beautiful eyes and handed Jiang Fan a phone number. Also, Stinky kid, this is the Poison Saint's Heavenly Book, which records various methods of poisoning and detoxification. There is no one in this world who can't die from your poison, nor is there any poison that you can't cure. It can ensure that you are safe in the martial arts world. Jiang Fan took over the treasures handed over by 9 exquisite masters one by one, with a somewhat reluctant expression on his face. Master and disciple Jiang Fan, thank you for your life-saving kindness. I will avenge you in the future. I will come to Tianyuan again and spend the rest of my life with the 9 masters. The 9 stunning Heavenly Maidens suddenly turned pale on their faces. No need, Stinky kid, hurry up and leave. After leaving the heavenly abyss, do whatever you want and kill whoever you want. The world is vast, and you are the greatest. Remember, you are the best. Jiang Fan knelt down and kowtowed to the 9 beautiful masters with a heavy heart, and finally glanced at these extremely beautiful and cold masters. He left Tianyuan without looking back. Returning to the world, Jiang Fan has a feeling of being separated from the world. Jiang Fan, the young master of the Jiang family, has finally returned alive. Jiang Fan won't let go of anyone who once bullied their Jiang family. Looking back on that night 5 years ago, it was simply a nightmare for Jiang Fan. For the past 5 years, every night when Jiang Fan slept, he would dream of this terrifying scene. A group of masked people stormed into the Jiang family, indiscriminately killing, with blood flowing into a river and screams in agony, as if they were in hell. Jiang Fan died a narrow escape and fell into the abyss. Zhang Yuanshan. Thinking of this name, Jiang Fan's whole body became cold, and the temperature around him dropped by more than 10 degrees. Donghai City. Jiang Fan walked out of the airport in tattered clothes. He practiced martial arts for 5 years and was determined to seek revenge, almost transforming himself into a wild man. The passers-by kept casting strange gazes, but Jiang Fan ignored them and directly found a car, intending to go back to the Jiang family's old house to have a look before proceeding. In an hour. The car stopped at Jiang's old house. Jiang Fan got off and walked in. Nowadays, the Jiang family's old house has become barren and overgrown with weeds, but the luxurious decoration and architecture can still be seen, how prosperous it used to be. Unfortunately, the buildings are empty and things are different. Jiang Fan's eyes turned red as he looked at the scene in front of him. With a thud, he knelt down. "Dad, Mom, second brother, I'm back, I'm coming to see you guys." A row of blood and tears fell. When the enemy invaded the Jiang family, hundreds of people from all over the Jiang family died tragically, with incomplete bodies. Nowadays, there is not even a tomb. My son will definitely seek revenge for you, for the Jiang family. Dad, that Zhang Yuanshan bastard must not survive tonight. After speaking, Jiang Fan kowtowed to the ancestral home of the Jiang family. "Hello, hello. Young man, what are you doing here?" A woman dressed in ordinary clothes walked over, glanced at Jiang Fan, and asked strangely. "Who are you?" Jiang Fan's eyes were cold. "I'm from around here, delivering food to Miss Bai." Jiang Fan asked strangely, "What white girl?" The woman lowered her voice and sighed, "Young man, this is not a good place. You should leave quickly." Jiang Fan felt something was wrong and chased after him, asking, "What did you just say? Who is Miss Bai?" The woman looked at Jiang Fan, who was messy and had long hair that looked like a beggar. After thinking for a moment, she said, "Bai Mengyan, you don't know anyone. Let's go quickly. Maybe someone will come here tonight." "Who's here?" The woman shook her head, stopped talking, and left here. Jiang Fan immediately rushed towards the inside and saw a beautiful girl sitting in the pavilion in the backyard, but she looked very down and out. "Mengyan, it's really you." Jiang Fan stepped out with one step, his expression excited. "Are you?" The girl was stunned for a long time and didn't react. "Mengyan, it's me. I'm Jiang Fan, I'm back." Jiang Fan couldn't help but step forward and hugged Bai Mengyan. Bai Mengyan's face changed greatly, and it was only then that she recognized Jiang Fan. "Brother Fan, is it you? Is it really you?" Chapter 2. Cutting him to pieces. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Fan smiled and nodded. It's not that he can't be recognized by others, it's just that he hasn't been groomed for the past 5 years, and his beard and hair are very long, like a monster. Bai Mengyan confirmed that he was Jiang Fan, and then shed tears as the two embraced each other. "Brother Fan, are you not dead? Are you really not dead? That's great." They hugged for a full 10 minutes before they parted ways. Bai Mengyan was Jiang Fan's former girlfriend, and they were a perfect match. However, since the Jiang family had an accident, the Bai family was also implicated. In order to prevent the Bai family from being destroyed, the Bai family even expelled Bai Mengyan from the family and cut off their relationship. That's why Miss Bai Mengyan has become so destitute and unbearable. After knowing the reason, Jiang Fan felt even more pity and gratitude towards Bai Mengyan in his heart. Brother Fan, after the downfall of your Jiang family, I couldn't find the bodies of your parents, so I had no choice but to set up a tomb for them. I thought you were also dead, so you also have a tomb. Bai Mengyan and Jiang Fan arrived at a corner, only to see 4 clothing mounds standing lonely and desolate among the weeds. Jiang Fan's eyes were bloodshot, and he knelt down again, crying bitterly. Men don't shed tears lightly, they just haven't reached the point of sadness. Long time. Jiang Fan and Bai Mengyan returned to the pavilion. Bai Mengyan was full of doubts, but Jiang Fan interrupted her. Mengyan, I have wronged you in these years. Bai Mengyan shook her head lightly and said, Brother Fan, do you know who the killer is? Jiang Fan took a deep breath and said, I know, Zhang Yuanshan. Ah. It's actually him. Mengyan, find a safe place to stay. I should get back this blood debt. Bai Mengyan trembled all over and said, Never, Brother Fan. In recent years, the Zhang family has been thriving and is almost on the verge of becoming the largest family in the East China Sea. Their strength is too strong, and you can only die if you go. Jiang Fan sneered, Is that so? Moreover, after the downfall of your family, Zhang Yuanshan, as your father's sworn brother, has been proclaiming to the outside world that he will avenge you and even erected a memorial tablet for you. Unexpectedly, the culprit was himself. Fake pretense, nauseating. Jiang Fan sneered. At this moment, Bai Mengyan remembered something and her face turned even paler. What banquet will the Zhang family hold tonight? Zhang family experts will definitely be present, and you can't go. Promise me, Brother Fan, will you? Bai Mengyan spoke to Jiang Fan in a tone that was almost begging and crying. Jiang Fan glanced at the destitute girl and his eyes flickered. Immediately, he lightly slapped Bai Mengyan on the back. Bai Mengyan collapsed without warning and was embraced by Jiang Fan. Mengyan, I am no longer Jiang Fan from the past. I came here for revenge. Please sleep well and wait for me to come back. Just as the words fell, a Rolls-Royce arrived at the entrance of the Jiang family's ancestral home. A proud and beautiful woman got off the car and glanced at the abandoned ancestral home of the Jiang family. She took out her phone and called out. Hello, who is that? Jiang Fan's phone rang. Is that the young master? I'm Shisher. I received a message that you have come to Donghai. Yes, I'm at the ancestral home of the Jiang family. Shisher was a little excited and said, It's a coincidence. I'm right at the entrance of the Jiang family's ancestral home. Young master, where are you? Jiang Fan said in a deep voice, I'll come out right away. 5 minutes later. He walked out holding Bai Mengyan, who had fallen asleep, and saw a tall and beautiful woman standing at the door. Her appearance was as beautiful as his 9 masters. Even more stunning. Are you Shisher? Shisher stepped forward and nodded respectfully, Yes, I am Shisher. Young master. Is this? She looked at Bai Mengyan in Jiang Fan's arms with some confusion. Take care of her, I'll go do something first. Shisher took Bai Mengyan and frowned, saying, Young master, do you need my help? No need, these people are just ants to me. Find a good place to place Dream Yen, let her take a shower, have a good meal, and I'll come back to you after I finish my work. Yes, I understand. Young master, I dare to ask, who are the enemies? I only know about the Zhang family for now. They. Shisher sneered. Young master, if you need anything, just give me an order. I'm leaving now. As one of the members of the witch group, Shisher was a subordinate of Jiang Fan's 9 masters, and naturally also a subordinate of Jiang Fan. After Jiang Fan left the heavenly abyss, the 9 masters immediately notified the witch troupe, and she sure was in the East Sea, so he was the first to meet Jiang Fan. Watching Shi Shi leave with Bai Mengyan, Jiang Fan's eyes gradually became extremely cold, as if falling into an ice cave for millions of years. Today's guests are all distinguished guests of my family, Zhang Yuanshan. The development of our Zhang family in the East China Sea cannot be achieved without the support and help of everyone. Let me first toast everyone. The bustling banquet hall was almost filled with 100 tables of guests. The people who could come here today were either high-ranking officials or martial arts masters, without any ordinary people. Zhang Yuanshan sat in the center with his 2 sons and glanced at the banquet hall, their faces full of pride and pride. Now in the East China Sea, only the Zhang family can invite so many influential people to dinner. In the future, their strength will be even stronger. With Zhang Yuanshan's ambition, they will definitely annex the Qin and Su families. Son, look, from now on, the East Sea will be the world of our Zhang family. Yes, father, it's all your credit. In the future, in the East China Sea, if a steel coin falls from the sky, it must belong to our Zhang family. Ha ha ha. Zhang Yuanshan and the Zhang family became happier as they chatted, and laughter continued at the banquet. Remember, our rise cannot be separated from the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions. With him, our Zhang family can rest assured. Zhang Yuanshan's 2 sons had a glimmer of light in their eyes and nodded deeply. Soon, many wealthy individuals and members of third-rate families began to come over and offer a toast to Zhang Yuanshan. Yuanshan, you really have deep affection and righteousness. Your sworn brother has been dead for several years, and you haven't forgotten about him. I heard that you have always wanted to avenge him, but couldn't find the murderer. Is this true? I don't know who brought up this matter, but Zhang Yuanshan deliberately let out a sigh, as if feeling very sad. Yeah, if I knew who the killer was, I would definitely cut him to pieces. Mr. Zhang, I respect you as a man. Mr. Zhang, this friend, I have made a deal with Mr. Wang. Just at this moment, a man wearing a mask walked into the banquet hall and said to everyone, really? If you find the killer, you'll cut him to pieces. Chapter 3. He's too rebellious, isn't he? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The banquet hall immediately quiets down. A deathly silence. This man wearing a mask looks too strange, everyone is very puzzled. What the hell is this? The masked man ignored the crowd and walked over directly. So now I'm telling everyone present that one of the perpetrators of the Jiang family tragedy is you, Zhang Yuanshan. Boom. A burst of discussion erupted in the hall, and everyone was a bit confused. Zhang Yuanshan glanced at his eldest son Zhang Ming and gave him a look. Zhang Ming gritted his teeth and walked out. Who are you? Wear a mask and pretend to be mischievous, talking nonsense. Today is our high-end banquet at the Zhang family, no one else is involved. Get out of here now. The masked man sneered, oh. He didn't have any extra nonsense, just dodged and quickly rushed to Zhang Ming's body. He raised his hand and pressed it against Zhang Ming's spiritual cover. Bang! A strange and terrifying sound exploded, and everyone felt a chill. The masked man actually smashed Zhang Ming's skull with a single slap, and Zhang Ming's entire head exploded. What is this thing? Ah! Many people on site screamed out loud, and this scene came too quickly and terrifyingly. Anyway, Zhang Ming was also in the early stages of being an intermediate martial artist, and his strength was not weak, but he was unexpectedly killed with just one slap from this man. What a person who doesn't speak too harshly. Zhang Yuanshan and Zhang Ming's younger brother Zhang Liang's eyes were about to crack, and they were all dumbfounded. They reacted, their eyes bloodshot, and gritted their teeth, saying, "Who the hell are you? You dare to kill someone from the Zhang family? Even the heavenly King Laozi has come today, and I can't save you." The masked man gave a faint smile and clapped his hands, as if pinching an ant. He said in a deep voice, Zhang Shan, you ungrateful thing, do you still remember me? After speaking, the man slowly took off his mask and revealed his true colors. Jiang Fan's gaze was like a knife, looking at the Zhang family. For a moment, Zhang Yuanshan thought it was Jiang Fan's ghost who came back and demanded his life. Is that you? No, it's impossible. You fell off a cliff and couldn't survive. Are you a human or a ghost? Zhang Yuanshan was a bit panicked and clenched his fists tightly. The atmosphere on site was extremely tense. Hee, dog thing, do you think I'm a human or a ghost? Zhang Yuanshan let out a long breath. Of course, he wasn't foolish. Although he didn't know why Jiang Fan didn't fall to death, the person in front of him must be a person, not a ghost. Since he is a human, he can only kill him once more. Humph. Back then, everyone in the Jiang family was dead. Are you pretending that Jiang Fan appeared? What's your intention? Anyway, you can't leave here today and kill my son. Prepare to go to hell. Zwa, take this person and I will personally kill him to avenge my son. A middle-aged man walked out from behind Zhang Yuanshan, his eyes burning with flames, staring at Jiang Fan. Are you going to surrender or wait for me to take action? Everyone looked at Zui Yuan, who was a famous disciple of the Zhang family and had reached the early stage of advanced martial arts. Looking at the entire East China Sea, advanced martial arts were rare. This kid is pretending to be mischievous, he's doomed now. What good outcome can we have if we offend the Zhang family? Just as everyone thought Jiang Fan was going to die, Jiang Fan walked forward boldly without looking at Zui Yuan from beginning to end. This arrogance and coldness surprised everyone immensely. Zui Yuan feels even more unhappy. Grass, he didn't even glance at me. Later, I asked him to kneel down and beg for mercy. I came back today, it's a debt of blood, no one involved, don't want to die, get away. Jiang Fan said coldly. Zhang Yuanshan became angry and gritted his teeth, shouting loudly, Zui Yuan, grab him. I'm going to dig out his eyes, drain his blood, and strip him of his skin to cramp. Zui Yuan was already impatient and rushed straight towards Jiang Fan. Jiang Fan still didn't pay attention to him, which made Zui Yuan extremely angry and shouted, Stinky kid, you're doomed. Just as everyone thought Jiang Fan was about to die suddenly, they heard a click. Jiang Fan is still in place, while Zui Yuan has turned into a pile of meat crumbs. Died in a terrifying way. Everyone didn't even see how Jiang Fan acted. On sight. Silence. Terrifying. I don't know who it was, but the first one shouted. This is so terrifying. It's simply not human. How could it be? Zui Yuan is a high-level warrior, that's a high-level warrior. He just died like this. Zhang Yuanshan is also confused. He began to tremble. Could it be said that Jiang Fan had turned into a fierce ghost and demanded his life? Chen Feng, Adu, go ahead and kill him together. Hurry up and kill him. Zhang Yuanshan screamed hysterically. Chen Feng and Adu are also disciples of Zhang Yuanshan. The Zhang family worships them, and their realm is the same as that of Zui Yuan. As advanced martial artists, Adu has even reached the intermediate level of advanced strength. Don't underestimate it. Without saying a word, the two of them dodged and rushed towards Jiang Fan. They both punched each other at the same time. The power of a high-level warrior is not a joke, this punch is enough to easily smash a cow. Jiang Fan, whether you are human or a ghost, even if you are very powerful, can you still face two high-level martial artists at the same time? I want to see how you died. Before Zhang Yuanshan could finish his words, he suddenly saw Jiang Fan lightly slap and casually strike, confronting Chen Feng and Adu head on. Boom! There was a muffled sound in the hall, and everyone felt a wave of air rushing towards them. Chen Feng and Ah Do flew backwards at the same time, and their bodies were split into pieces out of thin air. Nima. 2 advanced warriors have split into pieces. What is going on with Jiang Fan? He's too rebellious, isn't he? Everyone from the Jiang family, stupid. Zhang Yuanshan had a dry mouth and a feeling of discomfort, and was about to turn around and run away. Jiang Fan took a quick step and rushed over. Zhang Liang stood in front and said coldly, "Do you know what it would be like to provoke the Zhang family?" Bang! Jiang Fan slapped Zhang Liang into a pulp. Ah! Lianger! Zhang Yuanshan turned around and saw a surge of qi and blood, his eyes almost bursting open. Jiang Fan sneered and reached out to grab Zhang Yuanshan. He threw it forward and followed suit, stepping on Zhang Yuanshan's head. Dog thing, did you ever think that it would be today when you killed my whole family back then? Zhang Yuanshan was greatly frightened and gritted his teeth, saying, "You. Are you really Jiang Fan? Tell me. Who else besides your Zhang family participated in the operation back then?" I don't know what you're talking about. Jiang Fan is not foolish. Back then, the Zhang family alone did not have the strength to compete with the Jiang family. To exterminate the Jiang family, there must be a black hand behind it. This is the real culprit. Don't say it. Jiang Fan sneered as he stomped on Zhang Yuanshan's right hand. Severe pain struck, and Zhang Yuanshan screamed loudly. Speak or not. Jiang Fan didn't have much patience. If the other party didn't speak, he simply went to the old house of the Zhang family to ask. Jiang Fan, you're so brave that you dare to come back. You're not afraid. Zhang Yuanshan even dared to speak harshly at this time. It seems that dogs can't change their habit of eating shit. Jiang Fan sneered, "Oh. Why don't I dare? You will never know who is dealing with your Jiang family, and you will die a miserable death." Jiang Fan's eyes became cold, and he stepped down, crushing Zhang Yuanshan's other hand. Ah! Zhang Yuanshan felt so painful that he couldn't take care of himself in life, and a stream of yellow liquid flowed out of his pants. Jiang Fan, even if you come back from studying, are you too arrogant? Do you really think no one can cure you? In the crowd of onlookers, a middle-aged man in military uniform walked out, and at a glance, he knew he was not an ordinary expert. Chapter 4. Why do I dare not? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Release Zhang Yuanshan, I'll make you die faster. The middle-aged man stared contemptuously at Jiang Fan. Suddenly, a commotion erupted at the scene, causing everyone to lose their composure and turn their gaze towards the middle-aged man in military uniform, which was unbelievable. What did I see? Isn't this the Xinqing general under the Eastern Marshal's seat? My goodness, why did he come too? I haven't seen them at the banquet just now, they may be hiding in the dark. Jiang Fan is doomed. He killed so many people in the Zhang family. Everyone knows that the relationship between the Zhang family and the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions is not ordinary. Otherwise, the Zhang family wouldn't be so powerful today. There's a good show to watch. Although I think Jiang Fan is really amazing, can he surpass this divine general even if he's amazing? No, there must be quite a few warriors outside. General Xinqing cannot appear alone. All the celebrities and dignitaries on site were discussing, their eyes blazing with excitement. They were both nervous and afraid, with a hint of fanatical curiosity, wanting to see how this incident ended tonight. At this moment, Zhang Yuanshan, whose hands were crushed by Jiang Fan, was in unbearable pain and embarrassment. Just as he was about to find a way to counterattack, he suddenly saw General Xinqing. He seemed to have grabbed a life-saving straw and shouted frantically, "General, hurry up. Help me kill this person, I am not compatible with him, hurry up." Jiang Fan sneered, never turning his head to look at the so-called Xinqing general from beginning to end. Do you think you can survive tonight? Even if some damn marshal comes, he can't save you. Everyone present took a cold breath and their eyes were frightened. Is this kid ignorant or really so awesome? General Xinqing is the most powerful general under the position of Grand Marshal of the Eastern Regions. What is the Grand Marshal of the Eastern Regions? That's the power of covering the sky with one hand. In the southeast corner of the Dragon Kingdom, he is the King Dharma, he is the heaven, he is the god. He has 300,000 troops under his command. He said whoever wants to die must die. Whoever becomes his friend will surely soar to fame. For example, the Jiang family is a great example. Jiang Fan, in the territory of the Grand Marshal of the Eastern Regions, killed the people of the Jiang family. How could he still be so arrogant in the face of the Xinqing general? That's like seeking death. On sight. Cold silence. Solidify. The leather boots clattered on the ground. General Xinqing walked out with a cold gaze. He was wearing white gloves, his every move full of pressure, making everyone present feel suffocated. Too strong. Can't you hear what I'm saying? Said General Xinqing. Jiang Fan still treated the other person as air and stepped down again, crushing Zhang Yuanshan's 2 feet. In the hall, a terrifying scream rang out. Everyone's hair is on end. General Xinqing squinted his eyes and angrily said, "You're reckless. Where did you come from, the yellow-haired child? How dare you ignore this general?" He waved his hand. The entrance to the hall was immediately knocked open, and a group of soldiers in battle robes, wielding various weapons, rushed in. Dragon, elephant, tiger, and leopard, this person openly committed violence in front of everyone, ignoring our general, and killing without mercy. Yes. The current 4 different warriors take a step forward, and their cooperation is seamless. They not only have hot weapons in their hands, but also various cold weapons. And at first glance, one can tell that martial arts are even more powerful than Zhang Yuanshan's offerings just now. The 4 of them rushed towards Jiang Fan at lightning speed, with swords and knives coming out in unison. A burst of energy forced them, causing everyone watching to retreat in fear of accidentally injuring themselves. Seeking death. Jiang Fan sneered and turned around to glare at them. The 4 generals of Dragon, Elephant, Tiger, and Leopard suddenly came to a standstill, with their weapons parked in front of Jiang Fan, as if petrified. Jiang Fan slapped it with one palm, and the 4 of them exploded into blood mist. Boom! There was another burst of screams in the audience. How could this be? Has this kid mutated? Wachow, I remember this dragon, elephant, tiger, and leopard was the most powerful killing general of the Xinqing general's army. He followed the general and the eastern marshal in the north and south, and made remarkable military achievements. He died like this. It's over, it's over. The East China Sea is going to change. When the Grand Marshal of the East region gets angry, he will surely end up with corpses and blood. Jiang Fan, this kid, has caused a big disaster. At this moment, General Xinqing was stunned for a moment and reacted. His eyes were bloodshot and he was full of murderous intent. Zhang Yuanshan was also foolish, completely foolish. His newly risen hope was once again shattered. You! How brave you are! How dare you kill the person of this general! Jiang Fan finally turned his head and glanced at the General Xing, as if looking at a dead dog. If you don't get out of here, I don't mind letting you go down and find them. Everyone present was confused. They suspect that Jiang Fan is not crazy. General Xinqing laughed back angrily and gritted his teeth, saying, "Haha, good. Do you want revenge? I might as well tell you that when I killed your Jiang family, the Zhang family was just a flag. The person behind the scenes, you can't afford to provoke. If you have the ability, go find the Grand Marshal of the Eastern Regions. If you dare to kill Zhang Yuanshan today, I will definitely send you to 18 levels of hell. Bang! Jiang Fan crudely stomped on Zhang Yuanshan and turned it into a ball of blood mud. You! General Xinqing's gaze was filled with fire, and his body was almost uncontrollable. Do you mean that Marshal Dongyu was also involved in this matter back then? Jiang Fan stood up, his icy eyes fixed on the General Xinqing, devoid of emotion. Damn it, you bastard! General Xinqing was furious, his battle robe shattered, and a fierce wind blew everywhere. Jiang Fan rushed over directly and gently grabbed the neck of the Xinqing general, lifting him up like a kitten. Everyone is numb. This divine general is nearly 2 meters tall, with terrifying muscles all over his body. With such a physique, not to mention fighting, most people feel oppressed as long as they get close. At this moment, Jiang Fan gently lifted the other person without any effort. Huh, Jiang Fan, do you dare to kill me? You will face the raging anger of the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions. Click and wipe. Bang! General Xinqing's neck was pinched off by Jiang Fan, continued to exert force, and his head flew directly into the sky. Why don't I dare? After killing this person, Jiang Fan walked to the center of the hall with a bored expression on his face. He looked at the onlookers and lowered his voice, saying, whoever participated in the massacre of the Jiang family back then must pay for it with blood. After I investigate the truth, no one will want to run away. Boom boom. The crowd, who had already been scared out of their wits, the celebrities, nobles, and people from various families, rushed frantically towards the outside of the banquet hall like a swarm of bees. Suddenly, people stepped on people, and the scene was somewhat frightening. What should Jiang Fan do in Chapter 5? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Donghai, Jiangshan Prefecture. Jiang Fan stood at the entrance covered in blood. He looked up. This deep mansion is luxurious in cost, with luxurious materials and exquisite design. It is simply inhumane and beyond the description of ordinary luxury homes. Squeak. The gilded door moved and slowly opened, revealing a stunning woman walking out of it. Welcome young master back home. This person is exactly the former Shisha. She changed into a classical qipao, wore high heels, and flesh-colored stockings. The tall and bulging white rabbit was terrifying. In terms of body shape and appearance, Shisha was capable of stunning the country. Behind her stood dozens of super experts, whose martial arts realm should be around the peak martial artists, some of whom had even surpassed martial artists and become martial arts masters. Jiang Fan couldn't help but take a second look. The lineup under Shisha is indeed quite powerful. No wonder the 9 masters praised the 4 great witches so much. Welcome young master back home. Welcome young master back home. The people behind shouted along with Shisha. Jiang Fan walked over lightly, his whole body was disheveled from top to bottom. He had just killed so many people, and his whole body was covered in blood. Those who didn't know thought he was a fugitive. What is this place? Jiang Fan asked. Young master, this is the mansion I have built for you in the East China Sea, named Jiangshan Mansion. From now on, this will be your home. Jiang Fan nodded and said, where is Meng Yan? She just woke up, took a shower, cleaned up, and kept asking me about your whereabouts. I dare not say. Okay, take me to find her. Shisha took the lead, followed by Jiang Fan, and walked into Jiangshan Prefecture together. The mansion was magnificent, and after walking for a long time, she finally arrived at a hall whereby Meng Yan walked anxiously. Meng Yan. Jiang Fan walked in and let out a soft cry. Meng Yan turned around and saw Jiang Fan, rushing towards her. Brother Fan, did you really seek revenge from them? Are you okay? I'm so worried about you. Jiang Fan smiled and touched Meng Yan's hair, gently saying, it's okay, isn't it okay with me? Alright, don't hug me, I'm too dirty. Meng Yan cried uncontrollably, Brother Fan, don't leave me alone in the future, okay. Okay, I promise you. After chatting for a while, Shishir walked over and whispered, "Young master, do you want to take a shower? I have prepared hot water and new clothes." Jiang Fan nodded and asked Bai Mengyan to rest on her own first. He followed Shishir to a large bathhouse. Upon walking in, it turned out to be a naturally shaped bathtub, filled with hot air and a fragrant aroma. "Shishir, you go out first." Jiang Fan turned back. Shishir hesitated as she gently bit her lips and said, "Young master, won't Shishir serve you in taking a shower?" Jiang Fan's face was a bit strange. "Isn't that good?" Without saying a word, Shishir went up directly and undressed Jiang Fan. "Young master, previously the Heavenly Maidens had orders. When you return to the East China Sea, I must take good care of you. If you have any mistakes, I cannot afford them. Let me help you clean up." Jiang Fan let out a dry cough. "It's just a shower, what kind of mishap can there be? Is it too exaggerated? Shishir's technique is very fast. Young master, let's go into the water." Jiang Fan is like this for the first time. He jumped into the water and wanted to take a good bath. He has been practicing martial arts for 5 years and carrying hatred. He is really tired. Next, after settling in by Mengyan, Jiang Fan will go to the old house of the Zhang family and continue to figure out who committed the crime back then. If Marshal Dongyu really participates in this matter, he doesn't mind meeting with him for a while. Puzzle. Just as I was thinking, the sound of splashes came from beside me. Jiang Fan turned his head to look. Shishir also got out of the bathtub at some point. "Shishir, what are you doing?" "Young master, although I am a terrifying witch, in front of you, I am a maid. Let me help you wash your body clean." Jiang Fan looked at the stunning woman next to him and didn't know what to do. Everyone, what should Jiang Fan do? Half an hour later. Jiang Fan was refreshed and returned to the hall just now. Bai Mengyan's eyes lit up when she saw Jiang Fan again. Originally, Jiang Fan, who had been washed clean, was so handsome, so young, full of a masculine aura. He was even more mature and charming than the young Jiang Fan back then. Bai Mengyan walked over with stars in her eyes and said, "Brother Fan, you're so handsome. You're even more handsome than before." Jiang Fan smiled and said, "Mengyan, you are even more beautiful than before." In 5 years, both of them underwent transformation. Just at this moment, Bai Mengyan's phone rang. "Hello, Dad." "Mengyan, where are you?" I'm with Brother Fan, he's back." There was a moment of silence on the phone. Did Jiang Fan really come back? "Yeah, he's right next to me." Bai Guoqing said solemnly, "I just received news that Zhang Yuanshan and his 2 sons have been killed, and the great general of Xinqing has died tragically. It is said that it was Jiang Fan who did it. I can't believe he really didn't die." Bai Mengyan was shocked and looked at Jiang Fan beside her with a bewildered expression. Mengyan. Mengyan. Where are you now? Your mother and I will come to find you soon." Bai Mengyan's hands trembled and she said, "We are in Brother Fan's new home." Half an hour later, Bai Guoqing and Qian Mingyue walked into Jiangshan Prefecture. They seemed to have entered another world, looking shocked and bewildered. How could there be such a luxurious mansion in this world? "Dad, Mom." Bai Mengyan saw the 2 of them and shouted loudly. Bai Guoqing and Qian Mingyue walked forward. "Daughter, are you okay?" Bai Mengyan shook her head and they both looked at Jiang Fan. Just now, Bai Mengyan had already told Jiang Fan that although the Bai family expelled Bai Mengyan from the family, her parents couldn't bear her daughter to suffer, so they secretly took care of their daughter. Just now, Bai Guoqing didn't see Bai Mengyan at the ancestral home of the Jiang family, so he called Bai Mengyan. "Jiang Fan, you. Uncle Bai, long time no see." Jiang Fan nodded casually, as if greeting. They are not bad towards their daughter Bai Mengyan, so Jiang Fan does not dislike them either. Jiang Fan, the weather has changed in the entire East China Sea. You have caused a big disaster, hurry up and leave. Jiang Fan remained unmoved. Jiang Fan, the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions, is not something you can deal with. He was also responsible for the Jiang family's affairs back then. Bai Guoqing was too excited when he spoke, and his mouth was quick for a moment. When he realized it, he quickly shut up. On the side, Qian Mingyue glared at her husband. Jiang Fan sneered, "Uncle Bai, do you know something?" I. Go ahead, it's okay. Bai Guoqing gritted his teeth and said, "Jiang Fan, it's uncle begging you. For the sake of being Meng Yan's boyfriend, let's go, leave here, never come back." Jiang Fan stood up and shook his head, saying, "I won't leave. Even if you don't tell me, I will investigate the truth myself. One day, all the enemies will die." Bai Guoqing couldn't persuade Jiang Fan, and his heart became horizontal. "Jiang Fan, what happened in your family back then was indeed related to the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions." Bai Guoqing, shut up. Qian Mingyue shouted on the side. "Jiang Fan refuses to leave, can't you tell?" Bai Guoqing looked at his wife. "Jiang Fan, I don't know much about it either. After all, the Bai family doesn't want to be involved in this matter. Meng Yan asked me to investigate the truth back then. All I know is that the Zhang family is at most a thug in this matter, and there are other forces involved, all of which are related to Marshal Dongyu. I dare not investigate the next matter anymore, for fear of being discovered. That's all I can say." Jiang Fan sneered and nodded, "Enough, thank you Uncle Bai. You stay here and don't go back to the Bai family. I have to go out tonight." Chapter 6. Grand Marshal of the Eastern Regions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother Fan. Bai Mengyan wants to hold on to Jiang Fan. Suddenly, she fainted directly. Jiang Fan's eyes were sharp and his hands were fast, holding on to Bai Mengyan. "Mengyan. What's wrong with her?" Bai Guoqing and Qian Mingyue looked sad and shed tears. "Meng Yan may have been sick again, she may not be able to live long. Why is this happening? Jiang Fan, after you went missing, Dream Yen was expelled. The eldest son of the Song family, Song Pingzhi, liked Dream Yen. You know, this Song Pingzhi took advantage of someone's danger and didn't know what poison to give Dream Yen. If Dream Yen didn't marry him, she would be poisoned and die. In addition, over the past few years, Meng Yan has not been doing well and has contracted a serious illness. We have seen many doctors, but none of them can cure her. Qian Mingyue became increasingly sad as she spoke, constantly wiping away her tears. Jiang Fan nodded lightly, took out a row of ice needles, exerted his true energy, and directed the needle at Bai Mengyan, with swift and flowing movements. Bai Guoqing and Qian Mingyue on the side were stunned and didn't dare to stop them. About 2 minutes later, Jiang Fan received the ice needle. All right, let Meng Yan rest well. Her poison will naturally disappear within 7 days, and her illness will also recover. Don't worry. At first, Bai Guoqing and Qian Mingyue didn't believe it at all. How could this be possible? They have all seen the best doctors in the Dragon Kingdom and said that Bai Mengyan is a terminal illness, and with the toxins in her body, it is impossible to cure her. But when they saw Bai Mengyan's face turn red, they had to doubt it. Really, Mengyan's face has turned pretty. Jiang Fan stood up and walked out of the hall. Shishir followed closely behind. I'll go to the old house of the Zhang family first. Please protect them and wait for my news. I'll obey you, my subordinate. Shishir smiled on her face. Zhang's old house. Zhang Zuohai is already 70 years old this year, and in a few years, he will retire. Nowadays, the Zhang family is powerful, backed by the big tree of the Eastern Marshal. It's difficult not to be powerful. Jiang sits under the sea and has 2 sons and a daughter. Jiang Fan, the eldest son, joined the army with the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions and had the strongest martial arts strength. He was also the most reasonable successor to the Jiang family in the future. Jiang Fan, the second son, followed his own family in the business below, and was also very capable. However, at this moment, the broken and unsightly meat residue was collected with a shovel, placed on a white cloth, and transported back to the Jiang family's old house. Jiang Fan looked at the tragedy in front of him with a gloomy expression and remained silent. Everyone in the Jiang family remained silent like a cicada. It's too tragic. There are no corpses, there is no reincarnation at all. Son, grandson, I will definitely help you seek revenge. Jiang Fan gritted his teeth and spat out word by word. It seems that the remaining sins of the Jiang family have not died yet. He has returned. Anyway, I will offer his blood sacrifice to my descendants. Jiang Fan stood up and said, Master Tianlong and Master Di Hu, how do you estimate Jiang Fan's strength? On the side, 2 elderly men walked out, with long beards and an inexplicably strong aura that was heart-wrenching. In just 5 years, even if this son is powerful, he cannot ascend to heaven. He can kill a few people from Chenfeng and Edu, and his realm is at the peak of martial arts at most. He can never be the Wuzong. Just a martial artist at the peak, just wanting revenge. He looks down on himself too much, I thought he was so powerful. The realm of martial arts can be roughly divided into warriors, Wuzong, Wuwang, Wuling, and so on. Each level is further divided into 4 levels. Middle school, high peak, and high peak. Each level is further divided into 3 stages. The first, middle, and last. Offering all the masters of my Jiang family and inviting them out, as well as the manpower below, it's better to have as many as possible. Then notify Jinshan and let him go home. You're presiding over my son's funeral, I'm going out to meet Marshal. Everyone was surprised. How could the old man go directly to find the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions? That's a super boss. If we can get Marshal Dongyu to take action, Jiang Fan will definitely die. However, speaking of which, if Jiang Fan causes a great disaster and kills the Xinqing general, there may not be a need for the Jiang family's request, and the Grand Marshal of the Eastern region will also take action. But Jiang Fan can't wait anymore. He watched his descendants die so miserably, the heart-wrenching pain was unbearable. Jiang Fan is about to go out. The gate of Zhang's old house suddenly exploded. What person? The Jiang family was up and down, so they immediately looked ahead with caution. At this moment, a man like a god of death walked in coldly. Hundreds of Jiang family thugs are flocking forward. Kill me. Boom. Jiang Fan punched directly. Blow up the waves. These thugs turned into a mist of blood, drifting in the air. Jiang Fan's pupils contracted violently and he said, You are Jiang Fan. Old thing, do you remember me? Heaven Dragon and Earth Tiger. The 12 demons of the Heavenly Wolf, kill him, everyone else, shoot, shoot. Jiang Fan shouted wildly. In an instant, more than 10 people rushed out of the house, all of whom seemed to be martial arts masters close to the martial arts sect. With so many of them besieging a Jiang Fan, I don't believe they can still handle it. Tonight. Jiang Fan can never leave here alive. Jiang Fan, you're too crazy to dare to come directly to my Jiang family's old house alone. Do you really think my Jiang family is easy to bully? Jiang Fan is an old bone, almost crazy at this moment. Bang bang bang. At the critical moment, countless bullets shot wildly towards Jiang Fan. The air twisted and Jiang Fan's body flickered, his hands dancing. Moment all these bullets were held in Jiang Fan's hands. Without saying a word, he threw the bullet back. Almost returning from the original path, these bullets hit those gunmen. Connect the explosive head. How could it be? He can't be afraid of hot weapons. He's already in the realm of Wuzong. The Heavenly Dragon and Earth Tiger shouted loudly, finally daring not to underestimate the enemy. Zhang Zuohai and the Zhang family retreated to the back. Led by Tian Long and Di Hu, supplemented by the 12 demons of the Heavenly Wolf, they launched an attack against Jiang Fan alone. Go to hell, even if you're a martial arts master, you can't escape. Bang bang. The waves exploded, and Jiang Fan was effortless. Facing the 14 masters of the Zhang family, he connected his palms. Following closely behind, the Heavenly Dragon and Earthly Tiger were exploded, and the 12 demons of the Heavenly Wolf turned into blood mist. Just that fleeting thing. These 14 experts all died tragically. Ah! Zhang Zuohai felt as if he had seen a ghost, extremely frightened. The Zhang family knew they were in trouble and fled wildly. Want to run? Let's bury my Jiang family together. Jiang Fan rushed forward, his figure changing, and he acted too quickly. It is impossible for the Zhangjia people to resist. For a moment, blood flowed into a river and screamed uncontrollably. Just like that night 5 years ago. Dead. Everyone present at the Zhang family died a tragic death. Only Zhang Zuohai, an old man, remained trembling and frightened, his face turning pale with fear. Jiang Fan walked over lightly, as if death had descended. What are you? What do you want to do? I'm a person of the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions. You can't kill me, you can't kill me. The Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions will definitely not let you go. Jiang Fan looked at him like a dead dog and said, was it the order of Marshal Dongyu to slaughter our Jiang family back then? Zhang Zuohai trembled and said, so what? Are you a match for the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions? Jiang Fan nodded and said, let me ask you again, besides your Zhang family, what other forces were involved in it back then? Zhang Zuohai knew that he was in dire straits today and thought for a moment before saying, Jiang Fan, don't think you killed the people of my Zhang family, and you will seek revenge. Some people, you can never afford to provoke them. You will also die very tragically sooner or later. Jiang Fan crushed Zhang Zuohai's limbs with just one foot, blood dripping profusely and shocking. Speak up. Ah. I said, besides the Zhang family, there are also the Song family, the Nangong family, and the Ghost King Hall. Jiang Fan squinted his eyes and listened quietly. These families and forces are now giants in the East China Sea. At this moment, a mobile phone ringtone rings. It's Zhang Zuohai's phone. Jiang Fan glanced at him and whispered, who? Marshal of the Eastern regions. It's Marshal. Zhang Zuohai was gasping for breath, as if he had seen a savior. Jiang Fan took his phone and pressed to answer. This is a video call. On the screen, an incredibly majestic and indifferent face appeared, with rough eyebrows, a tall nose, and a full face shape. Marshal. Marshal. Help. This thief has entered my house and destroyed all of me. Come and save me. Marshal Dongyu remained unmoved, just quietly watching Jiang Fan. Chapter 7. Stinky brother, long time no see. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Are you the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions? Jiang Fan squinted his eyes. On the phone, Marshal Dongyu kept staring coldly at Jiang Fan, as if trying to see through everything about him. The air is filled with an invisible killing aura. Zhang Zuohai gasped for breath, bleeding uncontrollably, and kept shouting, Marshal, this son is arrogant and cruel. His martial arts have entered the realm of Wuzong. He came for revenge and must not stay. Jiang Fan sneered. On the phone, Marshal Dongyu finally spoke up. Like a deep city lion, emitting a deep roar of anger. Jiang Fan, I advise you to turn around and be safe. There are some things that you should never know. You let Zhang Zuohai go, and from then on, you will become anonymous, lose your martial arts skills, and leave the Dragon Kingdom. I can keep you alive." Jiang Fan laughed back in anger and let out a long roar. "What are you saying? Let me let you go. Leave the Dragon Kingdom. Dream." Marshal Dongyu's cold eyes moved and he said, "Arrogance. Do you know that I control the troops and horses of the 5 provinces in the southeast? As long as I give a command, countless experts will flock to move, and you will definitely die without a place to bury yourself." Jiang Fan slapped Zhang Zuohai directly and turned him into a blood mist in front of the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions. Air solidifies. The nauseating smell of blood filled every corner of the Zhang family. In the video call, Marshal Dongyu's eyes became like hooks. "You're looking for death." Jiang Fan said coldly, "I, Jiang Fan, will seek revenge. No matter who it is, you, the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions, are no exception." Ha ha ha. "Alright, how crazy. I haven't seen such an arrogant and ignorant person in years." Jiang Fan directly crushed the phone. At this moment, the Zhang family seems like a sure hell. A deathly silence. Except for Zhang Jinshan, who is still serving in the army outside, the Zhang family has already died. East China Sea. The weather has changed. Boom. Suddenly. A loud bang. The Zhang family mansion exploded. Jiang Fan's body flashed, and he rose up and down, several times, far away from here. Looking back, the old house of the Zhang family is already a sea of fire. In the night sky, the sound of engines roaring could be heard. Looking up, there were actually several armed helicopters, not only equipped with powerful artillery, but also rockets. Fire. On the helicopter, a tall and cold man spoke up and ordered his subordinates to shoot at Jiang Fan. For a moment, countless cannons were like exquisite fireworks, crazily killing Jiang Fan. Jiang Fan's figure is faster, like a ghost returning from hell in the night, unable to see its trace clearly. The dense artillery couldn't hit Jiang Fan at all. The man frowned and gritted his teeth, saying, "Missile fire." Whoosh whoosh. Several small missiles flew in a row, but still couldn't hit Jiang Fan. Damn it. This kid's speed is so fast. Hurry up. Keep suppressing the firepower. Don't stop. The man is in a hurry. This is the first time he has seen someone so easily dodge attacks from heavy weapons. In the night sky, the sound of explosions echoed through the sky. A burst of flames illuminated Jiang Fan's profile. He calmly flipped his right hand, and an ice needle appeared in his hand. His true energy instantly condensed and he shot towards the night sky with a mysterious technique. The ice needle sliced through the air and shot directly through the front windshield of the helicopter, causing the pilot to die on the spot. The helicopter that has lost control is becoming unstable. Bang! The next second, the helicopter crashed and exploded, raising a mushroom cloud. Jiang Fan continues to take action, the ice needle shoots towards the next helicopter. Another falling explosion. Not good. He's too strong, there's nothing hot weapons can do about him. Retreat. Quickly retreat. The man shouted wildly and took out his weapon, preparing to get off the helicopter and engage in a close combat with Jiang Fan. Unfortunately, Jiang Fan did not give them a chance. Chasing up, the ice needle connects and shoots. Shoo shoo. In the night sky, faint and imperceptible sounds accurately hit the pilot each time, causing the helicopter to lose control and fall. 4 or 2 pounds, effortless. The last helicopter exerted all its strength, spraying smoke in the air, trying to escape. Jiang Fan chased after and was about to take action. Suddenly, a black object flew out ahead, directly blasting the helicopter's rotor and causing it to crash. Bang! Falling and exploding. The man jumped and fell to the ground before the explosion. Before Jiang Fan could pass by, a figure rushed out from another direction, wielding a long sword and fighting against the man. In less than 3 moves, the opponent beheaded the man with a single sword, and blood surged into the sky. After eliminating everyone, the figure stood firm and looked like a woman. Jiang Fan walked over. "Who are you? Why are you helping me? You caused a big disaster, you know." Jiang Fan shook his head, didn't say a word, just turned around and left. "Hey, hey, hey. Stinky kid, why are you leaving? Where are you going? Stinky kid, you still have this bad temper. You haven't changed at all. Hey, wait for me." The figure walked out of the darkness and finally revealed its face under the reflection of the flames. Jiang Fan turned around and looked over. At that moment, he almost couldn't believe his eyes. You are Sister May." The beautiful woman gave a smile, parting in life and death, reuniting with old friends, and feeling endless emotion. "Stinky little brother, long time no see. Do you want to seduce sister?" Chapter 8. East China Sea, Changes in the Sky. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Cough. Jiang Fan is so excited that he almost moved to Bengbu. "May sister, you're talking like that again." The two of them looked at each other for a moment, fell silent for a while, and embraced each other with smiles. Tang Mimi was an orphan adopted by Jiang Yulong, the father of Jiang Fan, and later recognized as her goddaughter. Because she is older than Jiang Fan, she is naturally Jiang Fan's sister. So Tang Mimi often calls herself goddess in front of Jiang Fan. "May, did you escape from the tragedy back then?" After embracing each other, Jiang Fan looked at Tang Mimi excitedly. Now, Tang Mimi has become even more beautiful and charming. "Yes, sister didn't expect it either." "Fan Di, you didn't die either." After hearing this news, sister was so happy and hurried back to the East Sea to see you. Unexpectedly, as soon as you came back, you caused a big disaster, stinky little brother. Tang Mimi looked at Jiang Fan with a doting expression on her face and reached out to tap Jiang Fan's forehead. Jiang Fan smiled with tears in his eyes. "Great, Sister May. Stinky little brother, sister needs to tell you even better news. Besides me, your sisters Yan, Huang, and Yi are still here." "What?" Jiang Fan was shocked. Chen Hanyan, Wang Zihuang, Yi, 3 older sisters, just like Tang Mimi. Initially, they were all orphans taken in by Jiang Yulong. Later on, they all became Jiang Fan's god-sisters. Where are they? Jiang Fan's mood at this moment was indescribable. Lost and regained, farewell to reunion. He can't wait to see these goddesses. Don't worry, stinky little brother. They are still practicing martial arts and cannot come to see you, but they will also be happy to hear that you are still alive. May, what happened to you guys back then? Talking about the past, Tang Mimi's smile narrowed and she took a step forward. That night, the enemy invaded the Jiang family, and the 4 of us and most of the family members were separated. We thought we would die without a doubt, but later we were rescued by a peerless expert. In order to seek revenge, we have been practicing martial arts day and night these past few years, daring not to return to the East China Sea, and even hiding our names. Who is this expert? Tang Mimi shook her head and said, "Brother, don't ask me about this matter. Look at you, as soon as you come back, the East China Sea has been full of wind and rain. The Zhang family has now been destroyed, and you even killed the general of Xinqing, haven't you?" Jiang Fan nodded lightly. Tang Mimi sighed and said, "Brother, what is your current state?" "I don't know, my masters never told me." Next, Jiang Fan roughly explained his own experiences. Tang Mimi is really happy for him. "Stinky little brother, these people were just sent by the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions. He will definitely continue to send people to kill you." Jiang Fan shook his head and said, "It doesn't matter, I'll have to find him sooner or later. Tang Mimi's face changed slightly and she said, "No, brother. Marshal of the Eastern regions is not an ordinary person. Sister Mei, the tragedy of our Jiang family's extermination must have something to do with Marshal Dongyu. Are you letting me ignore it?" Tang Mimi took a step forward and took Jiang Fan's hand, saying, "Good brother, be obedient. This revenge will definitely be avenged, but don't worry, leave it to the sisters." Jiang Fan shook his head and didn't agree. He knew that Tang Mimi was worried about him and afraid that he would be hurt. Let's consider this matter in the long run. At this moment, Tang Mimi picked up the black stick just now and put it away. Let's go, younger brother. Aren't you taking care of my sister? Tang Mimi smiled brightly, like a rose blooming in the night. Southeast Province. General's Camp. In the top secret office, there sat a man with a Chinese face and a black battle robe, who remained calm and confident. He is the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions, who wields power and covers the sky with one hand. In the entire Dragon Kingdom, there are only 10 such great marshals in total. Known as the top 10 marshals of the Dragon Kingdom. Marshal. Just received news that all 6 armed helicopters you sent, as well as Colonel Night Sky, have been killed in action. A man walked in and spoke softly. Marshal Dongyu's eyes turned. Jiang Fan. I remember you, handsome. Continue to send more assassins and kill this person. I don't want to hear any negative news anymore. Can't you even take down a small Jiang Fan? The man saluted with a serious expression on his face. I understand. He closed the folder and walked out of the office. For a long time. Marshal Dongyu walked to the window and looked out at the dark night sky. He sneered and returned to his desk, picked up a confidential landline phone and called out. Hey! Jiang Fan has returned alive, he hasn't died. On the phone, another person's voice was incredibly deep. What is his current situation? Some of them are powerful. They destroyed the Jiang family and killed one of my subordinates' generals as soon as they came back. No matter what he does, the matter with the Jiang family must be handled properly. If there is a problem, all of you can't bear to leave. Doodle doodle. The other party hung up quickly. Marshal Dongyu was stunned for a moment. It seems that Ben Shuai should get to know this kid well this time. At the same time. Linen Song family. The head of the Song family, Song Dashong, is wearing pajamas. He had just fallen asleep when he was awakened by the people below. Someone told him an astonishing piece of news. Jiang Fan appeared, destroyed the Jiang family overnight, and demanded that all the perpetrators of that year be questioned. When they broke into the Jiang family, the Song family also had a share. Nowadays, the Song family is located in Linen City and belongs to a first-class family. It's also because of the credit from back then. Are you sure the news is true? Sun Song Chuyu nodded and said, it's confirmed. In order not to cause unnecessary panic and rumors, except for the high-level officials who know about this matter, all information in society has been blocked. Song Dashong took a deep breath and said, if it's true, then something's wrong. In just 5 years, even if this kid is powerful, he can't destroy the Jiang family alone. The Jiang family is the first family in the East China Sea, can't they deal with a small Jiang Fan, father, just in case, should we? Song Dashong nodded and said, all right, you go arrange to bring back the family experts and prevent this person. Got it. Gusu. Nangong family. Nangong Han stared at his sons and sneered. How could it be? You must have made a mistake. Dad, someone from our family was at the banquet and saw with their own eyes that Jiang Fan had killed Zhang Yuanshan and General Shenqing. It's true. Nangong Han was stunned for a moment and said in a condensed voice, do you have any news from other families? I'm not sure yet. Okay, since that's the case, first arrange for the defense below. Qing Shan, go and contact the Song family and the Ghost King Hall to see what they mean. If it's really Jiang Fan, let's work together and kill the remaining members of the Jiang family again. With the presence of the Grand Marshal of the Eastern region, there's nothing to be afraid of. Nangong Qingshan nodded and said, I understand. Southern battlefield. A certain command post. Zhang Jinshan watched the surveillance video of the old house of the Zhang family just now, which showed that Jiang Fan had killed everyone in the Zhang family and stomped on his father Zhang Zhuhai. He gritted his teeth in anger. Congestion in both eyes. Subsequently, he slapped and unleashed his strong and thick true energy, killing more than 10 soldiers on the spot. The command post is on the verge of collapse. He is actually in the early stage of intermediate martial arts. With such strength, no wonder he was highly valued by the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions and came to the battlefield. Bullying people too much, bullying people too much. The remaining sins of the Jiang family, I will take your head to pay homage to all the souls of my Zhang family. Someone, prepare a plane, I will fly back to the East China Sea overnight and launch a killing spree. The East China Sea, and even the Dragon Kingdom, are experiencing turbulent currents and changing skies. Chapter 9. Missing you now. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Early the next morning. The destroyed old house of the Zhang family has long been reduced to ruins. Helicopter wreckage lay everywhere, corpses piled up, blood flowed into a river, and a gust of fishy wind filled the air. Many crows were hovering in the air. On the ground at the entrance of the Zhang family, someone suddenly wrote a few lines of terrifying characters with blood. To offer sacrifices to the 300 unjust souls of the Jiang family, the cycle of the heavenly way, and to reveal the sun and moon. 3 days later, all the perpetrators and masterminds who participated in the Jiang family's massacre went to the Jiang family's old house on their own, knelt 3 times and kowtowed 9 times, washed the ground with blood, and committed suicide to apologize. If not, I, Jiang Fan, will come knocking on the door and be executed one by one. I will leave no chickens or dogs behind. If you don't believe me, you can look at the Zhang family. From a distance, these blood words are filled with endless killing energy, making people feel cold and shivering all over. At the same time, everyone has received this message. Anger. They are more angry. A yellow-mouthed child, who has learned some martial arts, dares to speak so wildly. Do you really consider them soft persimmons? They will definitely make Jiang Fan understand what regret and fear are. Jiangshan Prefecture. Jiang Fan held a welcome banquet for Tang Mimi. Bai Mengyan sat on the side, and after Jiang Fan's treatment, her whole body had already improved. After Jiang Fan brought Tang Mimi back last night, she woke up. Bai Guoqing and Qian Mingyue have always been with their daughter, and Bai Mengyan has never felt so happy before. Brother, it's been a long time since I felt so happy and comfortable. Tang Mimi took a sip of wine, her face full of intoxication. In recent years, they have also worked very hard and have been very tired. Now, watching her former god-brother grow up, she breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. Xiao Zhu, I have received a message that you have caused the various forces under my supervision to have some movement. Shishir walked over with the people and whispered to Jiang Fan. Jiang Fan glanced at Bai Mengyan and Tang Mimi next to her and nodded, go out and talk. Come outside. Shishir handed the intelligence to Jiang Fan for review. Okay. These people are not planning to commit suicide to apologize. Intelligence shows that the Song family, as well as the Nangong family and the Ghost King Hall, with the help of the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions, are eager to gather manpower and rush towards the East China Sea. They certainly cannot go to suicide to apologize. It's just a Jiang Fan. With so many of them united, what if you're the Marshal sect? Still killing. Young master, do you need your subordinates to take action? Jiang Fan sneered, don't worry for now, let's wait until they come to the East China Sea. Shisha hesitated for a moment, feeling a bit worried. Young master, these families are easy to talk about. I can handle it alone. That's it. Speak up. He is the Grand Marshal of the Eastern regions, which is indeed difficult to shake. Young lord, you should be careful. Oh. Really? You all think Marshal Dongyu is so powerful, but I actually want to see what kind of person he is. Shisha was a bit shocked. It seems that my young master is truly fearless. She is Shisha in the East China Sea, known as a witch, and already belongs to the category of demons. My subordinates are as skilled as a cloud, killing people like a horse. She never takes these so-called big families seriously. If these people knew that the cold-blooded and ruthless witch Shisha called Jiang Fan the young master, they would definitely be shocked. You continue to monitor, and when they gather together, I will solve it all at once. Shisha nodded helplessly and said, Young master, you are really amazing. At this point, Bai Mengyan walked out. She is in a good mood today. Jiang Fan and Tang Mimi have both returned, and she will never be alone again in the future. Brother Fan, I want to go out for a walk. Jiang Fan had nothing to do for the time being today and nodded, okay, I'll be with you. Tang Mimi also walked out and said, Brother, then you guys go play. I won't make electric light bulbs anymore. I have my own business to deal with. Okay, Sister May, be careful and call me if you have anything to do. Tang Mimi stuck out her tongue and said playfully, take care of yourself. There are many people who want to kill you now. Besides, Sister is really amazing, don't worry. Watching Tang Mimi leave here, Jiang Fan also left the mansion with Bai Mengyan. After leaving the door, Bai Mengyan wanted to go shopping, and Jiang Fan stayed by her side all the time. He wants to make up for the lost 5 years. Walk onto the street. A black luxury car suddenly stopped. 2 men in suits got off the car and walked straight towards Bai Mengyan. Bai Mengyan and Jiang Fan just bought a lot of clothes, and both of them are very happy. 2 men in suits stood in front of Bai Mengyan, took off their sunglasses, and said, Miss Bai, we finally found you. Our young master is looking for you. Come with us. Bai Mengyan was so scared that she hid behind Jiang Fan and said, I won't go. Not going. Then we'll have to take action. Tell Song Pingzhi, I don't like him, even if I die, I won't marry him. Bai Mengyan gritted her teeth and remembered all the things before, and she hated Song Pingzhi to death. Song Pingzhi is a member of the Song family in Linen. He is used to being arrogant and doesn't take anyone seriously. He has always liked Bai Mengyan, but unfortunately he couldn't get it, so he used poison as a means. At this point, Jiang Fan stared at the other 2 and said coldly, where is Song Pingzhi? Although the Song family will soon gather with several forces from the Nangong family to deal with themselves, Song Pingzhi will definitely die. But Jiang Fan doesn't want to wait. Think about Song Ping's death now. Get out of here. A man in a suit was about to reach out and push Jiang Fan away. Jiang Fan slapped him to death, turning into blood mist. Bai Mengyan was frightened and covered her small mouth. Her elder brother Fan is really powerful, he can easily destroy the other party. You should know that both of these people are warriors, and the minions of the big family are definitely not weak. On the street, many people were scared and avoided. What about you? Are you saying it or not? Jiang Fan looked at another person. The man was foolish and looked at Jiang Fan with trembling fear. Our young master has been in the East China Sea, right at the Song Family Guild Hall, to meet Miss Bai. Jiang Fan nodded and slapped him to death, turning into blood mist. Mengyan, don't be afraid, I'll take you over now to seek revenge. Although Bai Mengyan was shocked by Jiang Fan's martial arts, she was still afraid. Song Family Guild Hall, that's a dragon pond and tiger's den. But Jiang Fan was not afraid at all, pulling by Mengyan and heading straight towards the Song Family Guild Hall. Half an hour later, they stood at the entrance of the Song Family Association. Are you Song Pingzhi in Chapter 10? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Jiang Fan connected Song Pingzhi's phone with Bai Mengyan's phone. Hello, Mengyan, why did you call me? Did you figure it out? I'll come find you now. Are you Song Pingzhi? Jiang Fan spoke coldly. The other party was stunned for a moment. Who are you? Aren't you looking for Mengyan? We're right at the door now. Song Pingzhi hesitated and said, what do you want to do? Jiang Fan hung up his phone directly. Not for a while. Song Pingzhi indeed led a group of people out of the guild hall and saw Jiang Fan and Bai Mengyan at a glance. His expression was somewhat complicated. Of course, Song Pingzhi heard about the Jiang family incident yesterday. But he doesn't believe it. Jiang Fan cannot be resurrected from death, even if he is alive, he cannot be so powerful. It should be a mistake in the intelligence. Anyway, he doesn't worry too much about family matters and only thinks about how to pick up girls. Mengyan, is he Jiang Fan? Song Pingzhi is not stupid. After looking at Jiang Fan, he roughly guessed. Bai Mengyan nodded. He, come here. Song Pingzhi's voice turned cold. Bai Mengyan stood still. Jiang Fan walked over and said, although your Song family will eventually be destroyed, I still can't wait. I want you to die now. Song Pingzhi was furious and gritted his teeth, saying, are you sick? Kill him. Next to him, 3 advanced warriors rushed out in the later stages. It must be said that the people around this kid are quite impressive. The 3 of them attacked at the same time, and Song Pingzhi felt that Jiang Fan must not be able to defeat them. However, the next moment, Jiang Fan passed by, raised his hand, and slapped the other 3 people to death with one palm, causing the waves to explode and turn into blood mist. Ah! Song Pingzhi let out a scream of surprise and his face turned pale. Is everything that happened yesterday true? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Go ahead, kill him together. Dozens of experts, come and kill them at the same time. Jiang Fan didn't have any extra movements, stomped his feet, the floor cracked under his feet, and he flew into mid-air before diving down. With a palm extended and a loud bang, everyone died tragically on the spot. This time, Song Pingzhi was overwhelmed. You can't kill me. I'm from the Song family, my father. Jiang Fan reached out and sucked Song Pingzhi across the air, grabbing him in his hand. Bang! Song Pingzhi turned into blood mist, dissipating the air. This is all too fast and shocking. Bai Mengyan is so foolish. No wonder her older brother Fan is so confident now that he can challenge the entire family alone. It turns out he is really amazing. Too handsome, too cool. Is this still her old Fan brother? It feels unreal now. After killing Song Pingzhi, the remaining members of the guild dispersed and ran away. Jiang Fan was preparing to take Bai Mengyan back. Just walked a short distance when a shout came from behind. Mengyan. Bai Mengyan turned around and said, quietly think. Li Jingxi, wearing high heels, quickly walked over and said with a smile, I didn't expect to run into you here. I just heard about a murder earlier, it's so scary. I dare not go there. Mengyan, please don't go there, I'm afraid there might be danger. Bai Mengyan secretly glanced at Jiang Fan beside her, her face complicated. At this moment, Li Jingxi's gaze also turned to Jiang Fan. Are you? Li Jingxi, long time no see. Jiang Fan smiled faintly. In fact, they all know each other. Li Jingxi, Bai Mengyan, and Jiang Fan were once classmates in the same class. Today, Li Jingxi went shopping and didn't take a few steps when she heard that there was a fight and murder in front of her. She was so scared that she didn't dare to leave. After a few minutes, she saw Bai Mengyan and recognized her. It had been many years since we last met, so she immediately stepped forward to say hello. Is it Jiang Fan? Long time no see. Li Jingxi wanted to say something, but dared not say it. She had heard some about the Jiang family, but did not know the truth, so she was full of doubts about Jiang Fan. Jingxi, it's been several years since we last saw each other. Why are you here? Bai Mengyan said. Li Jingxi smiled and said, today, a few old friends gathered. By the way, you all know each other. Some classmates have senior and junior students, and you happen to be there too. Let's go together. Jiang Fan actually didn't want to go, but Bai Mengyan seemed interested, so Jiang Fan followed her. Two people followed Li Jingxi and got into a BMW luxury car. The driver was Li Jingxi's boyfriend, who was young and promising. On the way, Li Jingxi held Bai Mengyan's hand and the two of them started chatting. Mengyan, I heard you've had a bad time these past few years, isn't it true? Bai Mengyan smiled and shook her head, no, it's pretty good. Li Jingxi glanced at Jiang Fan and said softly, I can't believe you and Jiang Fan are still together. I heard that there was a little change in Jiang Fan's family back then, isn't it true? She has a lot of problems. Bai Mengyan let out a sigh. Oh, then you are also a pair of hard-working Mandarin ducks, but it's okay. As long as you two work hard together, your days will definitely get better and better in the future. Half an hour later. The BMW luxury car parked at the entrance of a large hotel. The three of them came out, and Li Jingxi said to her boyfriend, Darling, do you want to go with us? The man was bald and smiled, Can I go? Of course it's possible. Li Jingxi looked proud. Which woman is not proud to have such a wealthy boyfriend? The bald man got off the car, hugged Li Jingxi, and went to the restaurant together. It's still early and there aren't many people in the restaurant. They entered and walked straight towards the private room. At this moment, the private room was already filled with people. Everyone saw Li Jingxi walking in with a bald man and quickly greeted him. When their eyes fell on Bai Mengyan and Jiang Fan, they couldn't help but feel a bit surprised. Is this the school flower of the past, Bai Mengyan? Oh my goodness, I heard something happened at her house and there hasn't been any news since then. She is truly the school flower of the past, still so beautiful. I want to take her today. Wait, the man next to her seems a bit familiar. It's not just familiar, it's almost reddened. Isn't he just Jiang Fan? Damn it, this guy heard that there was an accident at home and there hasn't been any news since then. How did he reappear now? Everyone was discussing, and Bai Mengyan and Li Jingxi stepped forward to greet everyone. Jiang Fan ignored anyone and sat directly in a chair with Bai Mengyan. Mengyan, long time no see. A girl named Su Xiaoxiao walked up and greeted Bai Mengyan. This Su Xiaoxiao is the eldest lady of the Su family in Donghai, and she used to have a good relationship with Bai Mengyan. But Su Xiaoxiao didn't know much about the Jiang family's affairs back then. In fact, apart from relevant personnel and upper management, ordinary people generally do not receive any news about these matters. Even last night, when Jiang Fan destroyed the Jiang family and killed General Xinxing, no one in the private room knew about such an explosion. Next, a few more friends came. After almost everyone arrived, they started ordering and eating. At this moment, a man in a suit walked over, holding a cup and smiling at Bai Mengyan. Mengyan, do you still remember me? Remember, Qin Feng, hello. Mengyan, I haven't seen you for many years. You have become even more beautiful. Are you still with Jiang Fan now?